Yesterday I went to a Korean church service and it was amazing. If you were a black Christian girly girl and you were single, okay, I think it's time that we start thinking about strategy. I have made a few videos on this, but I do know this is an ongoing conversation about black single women in their waiting season, right? And how our waiting season does not look like our counterparts in the church. And I just will continuously say that because it's true. And if you do not want to participate, it is a choice. If you do not want to participate in the black Christian girl, um what's a good word, pattern, right, of being on the pews and being sat down and having everyone around you gaslight you into thinking that you just need to pray more, you just need to wait and be patient. Okay, we are not talking to you. Okay, if you want to be that, go ahead. All right, but what doesn't make sense is you can't say it's a waiting season and our counterparts are also waiting, yet they're being snatched. Okay, snatched after a year tops. Please do not come to me with that. So we're not even gonna go there. Anyway, I was driving one day and I was doing my errands and I come across this Korean church and I was like, oh, interesting. This looks like a really new building. Didn't really think much of it, but I kind of had this impression to like look at the website. So I look at the website because usually, as a side note, some of the Korean churches that I have seen or Chinese churches that I have seen are usually only in that language. So they're not really doing any bilingual service. But funny enough, on this website, there was a bilingual service on Friday night. So I was like, oh, interesting. So I was like, okay, well, let me go. So I went my first time last week and I was very, very, very nervous because I was like, I'm probably gonna be the only black person here. I'm really like uncomfortable. But when I notice whenever there's pushback, especially when it comes to things of the Lord, it's probably because the enemy does not want me to receive something. So I was like, okay, there's something in here that I need to see. So I go in and I'm, well received. They give me my little translation thing and I'm seated. And when I tell you girls, I was so shocked by.
So I'm going to stop her right there, guys. So I know she said Christian women, but she's saying that basically a lot of black women, you need to expand your horizons. You need to divest more. You need to even go to the point where you're dealing with the Asian community, going to a Korean church to find a wholesome Korean man. Now, one thing I can tell you about Korean men, because what was that, the 4B movement is strong over there. It's a very patriarchal society as far as Korea, guys. A lot of the things that are inherent with black women as far as not being submissive, not listening, wanting to run stuff, talking back, that's not tolerated with Korean men, for one. So you have a barrier in itself just with cultures, but definitely when it comes to being submissive and him being the man, nah. So you think that you're just going to have it easier going that way. And the fact that she's saying this because she was welcomed as a Christian in a Korean church, that she'll find a man, baby, if it works, it works. Very seldom. But if it's to that point where, and I believe she's from DC, if I'm not mistaken, or she lives in DC, that you can't find a man because these guys are just too much and you have to go to this Korean church to actually get a good dude. We'll see how this ends up. The fact of the matter is, what she said about women being snatched up, a lot of these women are being snatched up because they are already wives before they get married. A man doesn't have to teach them to be a wife. A man doesn't have to teach her, stop talking, be quiet, stop running your mouth. I want this done. I would like this done. I like you to be supportive instead of being combative. A lot of these women are going to colleges and churches and they're already feminine, submissive, cooperative, instead of just saying, hey, what are you going to buy me? What are you going to do for me? And I'm educated, all this other stuff. A man would be a fool. And there are a lot of dudes who get involved with women like this, but a man would be a fool to mess around with something like that. But let's finish out the rest of this video. Let's go.
By the whole entire experience, I was very shocked, okay? First of all, the ratio of men and women is very even. If anything, there's actually more men than women, which was very shocking to me. Yes, some of them are family men, some of them were single, some of them were college age boys, but nonetheless, the ratio was not what I expected because when you go to your average church, there's usually more women than men, and all those men are probably married or probably being dragged by their wives. Not the kind of thing I'm looking for. So I was very impressed by what I saw. And then everybody's worshiping, everybody's hands up in the air. My vibe was like, yes, amen. And at the end of service, pretty much, when I tell you everybody stood up, there was a time where everybody stood up and everyone had to go out into the aisle and get on their face. That's what happened, okay? So I was just so wowed and so impressed by what I saw and so moved by God. And I was like, you know what? I'm so happy that I followed that gut and I did it, because you're like, oh, well, I'm the only Black person here. Well, honey, listen, you're going to have to do things maybe a little outside the box than our counterparts. And that's okay. Maybe checking out that Chinese church, checking out that, I don't know, whatever other ethnic church might be the move. And that's how you might meet someone or create new community outside of your local congregation, because your local congregation is not helping you find a mate. Okay? Like I said, they continuously gaslight Black women in particular because it's all they know how to do. They don't know how else to solve the problem outside of just telling you to wait and wait on the Lord. They mask it and they put religion over it. And anyway, many more conversations to come about this. But anyway, I'm so happy I followed my gut, and I will be going there every single Friday. I went there again last night and it was amazing. Power of God was moving and I just loved the environment. So I cannot wait to get connected to that particular ministry and more. And why not?
Well, I hope it all works out for this young lady here. Now, what she said was true. What you typically find in the Black church is a bunch of single women, single older women, single moms, and some flamboyant men. Unlike other churches, it's not really like that. And the goal is to keep you single because you're going to keep bringing in the money. You're going to keep contributing. And as you said, wait on God. They're not really helping you in situations to find a good man, because a lot of the men aren't really. And I think she said that you're either dragging the men who are there are either already in a relationship because their wife is dragging them there. Ladies, work on being a good human being. Work on being a good wife, what a man is looking for. And some of you, but I'm going to say some of you, you make it seem like it's so difficult. I don't understand what a man wants. I don't know what a man wants. I don't know what a man wants. Yes, you do know what a man wants. And it's not just sex. Sex is, in the long run, it's at the bottom of the list. Even though it is on the list, it's at the bottom of the list, because that gets old if that's all you got. Just being honest with you. But ladies, all in all, just the fact that you're going to a different church, a Korean church of a different culture, doesn't guarantee that you're going to get a man, because they're looking usually to get with a woman of their own culture, and their parents are trying to push them to get with a woman of their own culture, not a Black woman. So just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think, though. Comment below. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Much blessings and abundance. Stick around for the next videos. It's going to pop up on the screen below. That's where I'm going to see you guys at. Listen, it's your favorite everything. This is Wisdom. Let's run it up to 1 million. I'm the best. Quit playing with me. Peace.